Matter is everything around us that takes space. We have three states of matter: solid, liquid, gas. Solid like the book, liquid like water, and gas like steam. And today we're gonna study about the measures. For mass we use balance to measure the mass, and for weight we use spring, and to measure liquid we use a graduated cylinder, and there's some millimeters on here. And for regular solid we have to multiply length, then width, then height. First example, like length equal 10 centimeter and width equal 5 centimeter, and for height 20 centimeters. Then we have to multiply 10 times 5 times 20. First, and the equal is and the result is the volume. And for irregular shape, we put the irregular shape into a bowl like this, and and how much is added? It's this much volume of the irregular shape.
If we were to go ahead and talk about everything around us, we would start with matter. Because matter is everything around us, so as everything that takes up space and has mass. Because it's everything around us, of course we have to define it in groups, because if we don't, everything in our minds won't be very calculated and things will be hard for us to know which one's which. So the groups and into which other, like people call states, we have three of them, which is solid, liquid, and gas. If you were to go ahead and look at a solid, such as, let's say, this rock, or this little ball, or this balance, is most likely anything that is hard, or anything that has volume, and like anything that has its own shape. For example, like this book, or this book. This book has its own shape. If I were to go ahead and put it in my bag, it would not take the shape of the bag. Why? Because it has its own volume and its own shape. And because it's like this, it doesn't take the shape of anything. But liquid is different, such as the water in this graduate cylinder. It does have a certain amount of volume, and you choose. If I were here, if on a normal day at home, you were going ahead, grabbing a glass and pouring yourself some water, you would choose the amount of water you would put in your glass, not anyone else. That's how you know the volume of the water. But it does not have a shape. It only takes a shape of a container or a glass, or most likely anything that's a solid. Now we have gas. Gas is different from all of them, okay? Because it has no definite volume and no definite shape. If we were to go ahead and put a kettle on the stove with water in it, if you go ahead and look at the water, and if you go ahead and open the cap of the kettle, you would kind of see something, most likely it's only seeable a little bit. That's called gas. Okay, that's called gas. Such like as if I were to blow in this like straw, it would take the shape of this like balloon or this hand glove. But we have different things that also occur from other states being mixed with each other. If we were to go ahead, talk about freezing. Freezing is like a change of a state from a liquid to a solid. If I were to go ahead and put water in a container of ice and then go ahead and put it in the freezer, since that cube of ice is solid, I go ahead and leave it outside of the freezer for a while. That is going to create it to go back to liquid. Freezing is from liquid to solid.
How do we measure volume of water, of liquid? We pour water in the graduated cylinder. The graduated cylinder have about these numbers. These numbers are millimeters. These are volumes. So this water has 315 millimeters. Now how we are talking about regular shapes.
Hello guys, now I'm going to continue that we know how to measure density and how we measure density. For example, mass divided by volume. D equals mass divided by volume and equals to that. Okay. And density is the amount of matter in a certain volume that we can measure. But density equals mass divided by volume.